Coming to the podcast today is Aditi Sivakumar, who is a philanthropist, a women's rights advocate. She's created My Empowerment Platform and received numerous awards. Some of them include the Governor General Award, Walk of Fame, the L'Oreal Paris Woman of Worth, Diana Legacy Award. In addition to all this, she is an OBGYN resident doctor. How do you do it?
Hi, Annie. Thank you for having me onto your podcast. I
How
think
do you do all this?
I know everything looks like it's kind of going in its own silos, but it's all actually coming towards one similar direction. So everything I do really looks at how do you improve and empower like underserved women, whether that's through like my work, being an OBGYN resident, or through some of my extracurricular activities. But it all meets that one goal. So to me, everything kind of blends harmoniously, but on paper, it definitely looks a little fragmented and like siloed.
No, it looks very impressive. I'm very impressed. These awards, that's something. And you were the youngest person to get some of these awards. Talk to me about that. That's amazing.
I think it was honestly a bit of a blessing in disguise. Like for me, I never really pictured what it would be like to be like the youngest person in the room and like, does your voice matter? And I think the more that you do it, the more comfortable you get, even telling people like a lot more experienced than you and a lot older than you, like, I don't really agree with your idea, or like, I don't think it's a good idea. But that just takes practice and it takes time. But I think it's built a lot of confidence in myself to really know like who I am and what I stand for. And I don't really think it matters what your age is or like what your gender is or what your credentials are because you're there for a reason and your voice matters.
Now, what inspires you to do this? You've created this amazing platform, which I can't wait to hear more about. What inspired you to create that platform?
I used to volunteer at a domestic violence shelter called the Chrysalis House back in Ottawa. And I just fell in love with that shelter. I loved the
Mm,
women and the children within that shelter. They soon became like my second family. And I always had all these questions about why certain programs didn't exist or why certain needs weren't met. And I think at one point in time, I just kind of got tired of waiting for change.
mm.
And I thought maybe I would try to become the change. And I didn't really anticipate it to blow up the way it did, but I'm glad that
Oh,
it did. And I'm glad that it helped so many people.
because you actually need something concrete. After you talk about it and have a plan, you need to execute. So you need tools to get from A to B. And that's what you've created.
Exactly. But I think going through that process, I don't really come from like a background of like nonprofit. So for me, even trying to figure out how to get from A to B, trying to like create something, I had to phone like numerous friends who are in different spaces and you kind of like learn what their world is like and then you try to emulate it. But it's been fun. It's been quite a journey. And now I kind of feel like I can blend these different worlds together.
So, what inspires you to do this? You saw a need, but there's got to be more. We all see needs when you look around the world. What was it that moved you to take action?
I think at one point I just wanted to see if I could try something. Like I think we
Mm.
all wait for change and we all want change, but I guess the hardest part is saying, can I become the change? Can I do it? And I think a lot of us shy away because like the dream seems too big, it seems scary.
Mm.
But I thought like why not? Like why not me? I think is the question that you can
Ah,
like ask yourself, right? Like it can be you. You can be the driving force for anything that you want. And I think once I kind of changed that mindset, that's what was really the catalyst for everything.
and with all this work, you've become a mentor. You've become a mentor to many young women who are looking to do something similar and to be inspired. What does that feel like?
It feels really empowering. I think it's really hard to be sometimes like what you can't see. And like
Mm.
being younger, being a woman of color, being interested in like social advocacy, sometimes it takes you just to watch someone and say, you know, if they can do it, I can do it. And I can do it better. I could do it differently. And sometimes you just need that one example. So to try to become that for someone else, it's been really powerful.
If you can see it, you can be it, they say, right?
Absolutely.
Now, when you look back at your relatively young life, what is the greatest achievement? What would you say?
I don't think there would be one, but one of the like best awards or best celebrations I went to was truly the Women Empowerment Awards. And I say this
Ah,
because this was the only event I've ever been to in my entire life where you had a room full of 500 women who were truly there just cheering each other on. And I sometimes feel like in different avenues, different circles, you can get a little bit catty and the jealousy comes out and people aren't necessarily there to help you. But this was truly an event where every single person there just wanted to see you succeed. And it didn't matter who you talked to, it didn't matter who you sat, but like everyone was so welcoming and so warm and so celebratory. And that was so different for me. So I remember that day like very, very well. And I think I will for years on end.
And Claudia does a wonderful job to making sure that everybody rises because when we work together, great things happen.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's nice to just build that community.
Agreed. Now, what do you think is your superpower, your secret sauce? What sets you apart from everyone else?
I guess it's a good and a bad thing, but I don't take no very well. So if someone says no, then I'm like, no problem. You just
That
weren't the
means
right person.
maybe, right? Maybe. It means
Yeah, it means
maybe, right?
maybe, or like maybe, I don't need to ask you. Like I like my idea and I'll ask someone else who will say yes. So I think my superpower in that sense, just like being a bit more resilient. And if I hear no, then I'm like, whatever, like I'll figure it out some other way.
That's a great thing. Yes, I agree with you. You got to be tenacious. And if you don't get the answer you want, you just keep moving on until you get where you wanted to go or some direction of that way, right?
Exactly. Because, every no leads to a yes.
I like that. We should get shirts made up. Every no leads to a yes,
Exactly.
right? Now, how would you define success? You've had a lot of it at a very young age, too.
I think success to me is that when you can look back and see whatever you created, has that helped just like one person? And even if everything I've done has just helped that one person, then I would define it as a success. Because I really do believe, just like Claudia says, we kind of rise together. We don't rise alone. So success is not really like how many awards and stuff that you receive, but like what did you do with it? How did you help with it? How did you mentor people? Like, did you change the life of one person? And if you can say yes, then I think it was a success.
That's an excellent way of looking at it. Now, when you look back, do you think you have a favorite quote that sort of shaped you or set you on your way? Or if you're having a bad day, you read about?
I really like the quote, it's never about the setback, it's always about the comeback. Yeah, I just think as like women in any field, we do like hit setbacks. And I think what changes the trajectory for some is like that comeback and kind of using that adversity experience or adverse experience to say like, you know what, now how am I going to be better? How am I going to be stronger? How am I going to come back from this and like be the like star that I want to be? So I think that's always a quote that I look to on like days where everything seems like it's crumbling apart. Oh, it's super tough to do, but I think just like surrounding yourself with a community of people who believe you is like a great way to kind of help you get there. But yeah, absolutely. You never have to like sit in adversity. Like everything makes you stronger and you just kind of move forwards from it. I think the best advice I've ever gotten is choose your circle wisely. And I didn't really understand that really until I became a bit older. But I think the people that you surround yourself with really kind of emulate into the kind of character that you become. So surrounding yourself with like really positive and uplifting and empowering people is so important, especially when you're early on in your career. You want to be around role models who kind of lift each other up and not tear each other down. And that's how you're really going to propel forwards in your personal and professional life.
Did you remember when you were choosing this path? Do you remember a TSN turning point that you said, this is what I'm going to do when were you going to go to medical school? Were you doing this? Was there something that was pivotal and changed your direction?
I think when I wanted to decide, or I guess when I had to decide what kind of doctor I wanted to be, I always knew that like my like life's mission was really to empower like underserved women. And then that's what really led me to obstetrics and gynecology. So I get that question a lot, like why did you choose obstetrics and gynecology? But to me, it was always that easy answer. Like that's what I wanted to do. And now that I'm in it, I am almost done. I have like a few more years and then I do my own practice. But I think I'm really happy with my choice because it all kind of came down from like what I wanted and who I was as a person.
The way, are there three women that you can think of that have empowered you or supported you that has made the difference?
I think there's like countless women that have really been
Yeah.
like mentor. Like I don't know if I could just name three, but I think it all comes from people who say like, you know what, like I'm gonna help her, I'm gonna give her advice, or I'm gonna give her like that mentorship. And it comes from different avenues. Some of them are from like the medical field, some of them are more from like the social justice field, some are from media. Like I just feel like every opportunity that I've been given, there's truly like a woman behind it who's like talking about you behind closed doors to try to like lift you up in different ways. And that community to me is everything.
So define empowerment.
I think empowerment to me is when you're able to take the skills and tools and capital that you've gained and then pass it forward and really look at empowering like the next generation or the next individual. And I think it comes from like experience because you obviously need time to build up those
Mhm.
skills. But then when you get those and you get to then pay it forward, to me, that's empowerment.
Now, I'm sure there's a lot of lessons you learned along the way. Do any stand out or one that is maybe most important?
Um, It's a great question. Let me think. I'm sure there's plenty of lessons. But I think the biggest lesson that I try to follow is you really just have to believe in yourself. Like you have to be your own
Mm,
like biggest cheerleader. And it's fine to be like self-critical of yourself. And it's fine to kind of like be that person who asks the tough questions about like things that you're doing. However, you also need to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest support, because no one's going to believe in you more than you. And it's really hard to convince other people to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself first.
right. That's true. Always bet on yourself, as they say, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do some rapid fire, some fun stuff.
Let's
Are
do
you
it.
ready?
I'm
Let's do
ready.
it. Okay, how would you describe yourself in one word?
Bubbly.
What did you dream of when you were a child of being?
Oh, a superstar. Like I wanted to be like Hannah
Ah,
Montana.
now you're a medical superstar. Can you sing? Can you sing?
Nope. I cannot
Oh,
sing. I wish I could though.
okay, that's a superpower. If you had to choose between money or fame, which would it be?
Oh, I think fame. I love cameras. I love lights. I think I would just love that more than having like a big bank account.
Do you tend to wake up early or stay up late?
I want to be a morning person, but I'm definitely like a night owl and I stay up late.
Me too. I have big dreams of becoming a happy, cheery morning person, but no luck. If you were writing your autobiography, what would the title be?
Maybe bet on the underdog or something along those lines.
Aside from necessities, what's the one thing you can't go without?
Oh, like lip gloss. I always have like a tube with me.
Very important, right? What's the one thing you've always wanted to do in life but haven't yet?
I've always wanted to go to the Maldives. It's like on my bucket list. Like one day, I know it will happen. It just hasn't happened quite yet.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
To have the courage to just go for your dreams and just who cares? You know, life is short. Like try everything that you want. Like you can't really worry about the opinions of others. So go for it. Do it.
If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what would that song be?
Ever since the Women Empowerment Awards, I feel like Unstoppable has been playing on my phone a
Oh,
lot. And I think it's because we played it so much there that I forgot about the song. So now I actually have it on quite a lot on my playlist.
you up. What's the one thing you want but money cannot buy?
The ability to always feel content. I feel like sometimes I'm like, once I
Oh,
finish something, I feel like, what's next? What's next? That always like goes through my mind. And sometimes I wish I could just say, you know what? Like, you can rest. Like, that's fine. Like, you don't need to worry about what's next. What next will eventually come when it's time.
that's
So that's a
difficult
skill
to
I'm working
master.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
living
exactly.
in
And I
the
don't think I'm
moment.
there yet.
Well, you've got a lot going on, so you're a busy woman. So you'll have rest one day soon, right? If you could change one thing about the world, what would you change?
I would change the stigma that's associated with specific groups of people, specifically underserved women, whether they have like HIV or whether they are like facing violence, just to remove the stigma that these individuals face because they already have so many barriers. So the stigma, I think, is just like an unnecessary aspect that they are forced to endure.
What's the one common myth about your profession that you want to debunk?
I think the one common myth is that once you're in medicine, you can only do medicine. And I think that
Mm.
is a myth that I want to debunk. You can have a life, you can try to tread between different fields. You can kind of merge like media and medicine or medicine in another field that you might be interested in. It's not solely that you're just stuck in that one field and a doctor is the only title you'll ever have.
What's the one thing you learned about yourself through your journey so far?
I think it's not just me, but for everyone, that you're stronger than you think. And like
Mm.
you can actually do a lot more when you put your mind to it and you kind of like keep yourself away from some of these setbacks and that you build up the resilience that you can be stronger than you think and you can handle more than you think.
If you could sit down with one person for an hour, alive or dead, who would it be?
I think I would sit down with Michelle Obama. I just think she's like very
Ah,
wise and you would probably get a lot of life lessons from her. And I think she's like very open to just talking about some of her hardships. So I think that would be like a really productive 1 hour.
and she seems very fun too, right?
Fun too. I think it would be like a good time.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would you say?
I would say don't let other people's perceptions
Mm.
kind of stop you from going after what you want. And I think that's also taking me a long time because you kind of want to like fit in and you want to be in these silos and you never want to try something outside of the box because what if it doesn't work? But then at the end of the day, like who cares if it doesn't work? And like your true friends won't care if it doesn't work and they're not going to judge you because it didn't work. So just try it, go for it, and then surround yourself with the best type of people.
What do you think kindness plays in empowerment?
I think it plays such a tremendous role because I think empowerment and kindness are kind of like two intertwined concepts. I don't think you can really empower someone unless it was truly from like a place of kindness
Mm.
where you like, I want to help this person. I want to like share these tools and resources and I want to propel this person. So they're, to me, they're kind of intertwined rather than two separate entities.
When you look to the future, what do you see yourself doing?
Oh, that's a good question. I still think I'm figuring it out. I hope that I can continue like blending my passions of both media and medicine. But I really want my legacy to be looking at how to improve the health and well-being of underserved women. And if I can do that over my career, then I would have like lived out my legacy.
So, thank you so much for elevating, educating, and empowering women because together we all rise.